What's going on, family? It's your boy Kasim, aka Showtime. You know, this month is great. This year is great. Every year, I want you all to make great. Do the best that you can in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. You know, this past Friday, I met someone amazing, and I met some amazing people this past Friday at the event I went to. It was the great Lenny Green who I met. And shout out to everybody who I had met. Miss Tamara. Then you have Lenny Green's assistant and friends of mine also, and who introduced me to even more friends. And I got to do a book signing. I got to do speaking there at Lenny Green's event. And remember, I said in my videos, for those that haven't seen it before, if this is your first time watching Black Power Rise, please hit that like and subscribe button. But for those that know, you have heard me say, God brings people in your life for a reason. Yeah, it can be for a season, but it's a reason why He's brought them in your life. And I want to say this to everyone. It's 2025, y'all. We're in June now. I want everyone that's accomplishing goals, give yourself a round of applause. At the same time, thank God. Thank Jehovah. I don't care what you call Him, but at the same time, thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ also. Because without Him and then without God, none of this would be possible. At the same time, as I said, all of you all watching this, I want you all to do your best, because that's what I'm doing here. And at the same time, shout out to my daughter Bella. Shout out to my daughter Kamora. And Bella, as far as her, the girl has her own coloring book out now. I'll put the link in the description, as well as she's doing well in school and excited. The girl is already ready for division, and she's ready for her timetables already. On top of that, she's doing algebra, practicing it, but gets mad also when it comes to reading. She gets mad because she can't read big words yet. And I told her it takes time. You have to have patience, girl. And that's something I want to talk to everyone about. Yes, we grinding, but it's always on God's time. That's the one thing you all have to remember. Anything you're trying to accomplish is always on God's time. Yes, you can put the work in, but without faith, your work is dead. Yeah, I said it. You don't believe me? Just look at James 2:14-26. That's what he talks about. Look at James 2:26. He talks about it. Who he got that from? Through God. So what I'm saying here, everyone, is you have to put in the work, and you have to put in faith. You have to develop that faith. Once your faith gets stronger, your confidence is going to grow. The more you practice on whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, the more you're going to get better at it. That's what I let my daughter know. That's what I let a whole lot of people know. Because you have people, even at this past event, that came up to me, how did you write 9 books? And I let them know it started with 1. Yes, and I did the research back then. Yes, I went to people like Carl Weber. I went to people like Hope Clark. I went to people like Zane and Eric Jerome Dickey, who were willing to help me, and also other authors like my man Michael Presley, Crystal Lancy Wilson. I can't forget those, because they were willing to help me, because they seen that I was interested, and they gave me advice. It's not like they were there with me 24/7. They just gave me the advice and I took it. And on top of that, I applied what I was learning. So anything you're learning out there, because we all learn new skills, you got to apply it. Because all it is, you're just going to be learning and learning and learning. How you know if you're not going to be making mistakes unless you try and apply them? So on this journey that I'm on, and on this journey that you're on, yeah, we're going to make mistakes, but you keep going and you keep grinding. You keep going for that success that you really want. And don't let nothing stop you. Yes, I always say it, life gets in the way. But again, it's 2025, y'all. It's your year. You've got to be ready. Now remember, I said faith without work is dead. It's right there in the Bible, everyone. That's where I got that from because of the studying that I do. On top of that, if you don't know, it's in James 2:17. Now, if you are ready to align yourself, with God's purpose and your goals, that's where I come in at. Here at Black Power Rise, yes, I was around supportive people. Yes, it was Lenny Green and friends. That's what I call that. At the same time, I thank God for the opportunity once again. And the opportunity to be able to speak to people and open people's eyes. I want 2025 to be our year, but you have to want that. You have to want that success. I can't want it for you. I'm thriving for my own as well as my daughters. At the same time, God is striving for that success. It starts with Him. It starts with your belief. Everyone, your faith. Everyone, this is what I'm trying to show all of you all here watching this here at Black Power Rise. Remember, this is your year. So if you're ready to step into the discomfort and step into what God has aligned for you, step into what you really want to do in life, on top of that, go after the success that you want in life. Make this year 2025 that. The reason why I say make 2025 the year, because in the previous years, everyone, some of you all might have had doubts about yourselves. Some of you all might have not had the idea of how to get started on the type of success that you want. You had to plan. And as I always say, life happens. I get that. But don't let fear stop you from living the dreams that you want. Don't let fear stop you from going after that success that you want, everyone. Don't let nothing stop you from going after the success that you want. The reason I say that is because, I can tell you guys a quick story. After I finished my first one, I was ready to start my second one. But again, I still had no computer. And this is the time when I was hanging in Queensbridge. Shout out to my family out there. Shout out to David at the time, who was teaching me to drive back in 2002. I could never forget that. But anyway, what happened was I didn't have no computer. I was still in college, and I was working on my second novel, as well as marketing my first book, going to bookstores. But the story is, I didn't have no computer, but I didn't let that stop me. I was either going to David's house at the time, or my friend Comer, my other boy Clarence. Why? Because I didn't have a computer. And these people, they understood the drive. They understood what I was going after. They understood what I was trying to accomplish. Even Aunt Emma, shout out to her, also, who always said, don't worry, you'll get there. Or because I would be typing with one finger at the time. I didn't have a computer at home to be practicing typing. But again, I didn't let that stop me, everyone. And this here is my second novel. That's going to be a TV series. The script is written. I just got to get the actors now. Anyway, this is it here. Hood Lover. This book here, I wanted to dedicate it to women. On top of that, at the time, like I said, I was hanging in Queensbridge, and so shout out to my late cousin Troy, because I will be hanging out with him also. Oh man, damn, I'm about to get emotional because that's my very first cousin, y'all. He's the first family member who I've known, and at the same time, the first family member that even encouraged me to go to college. Besides me getting the idea from my cousin Nikki, my boy Ian Coma, back when I was in junior high school of my last year there. But yeah, Troy, you were dearly missed. Anyway, so back then I could remember letting him know what the characters was about. With Hood Lover, you had these four women who couldn't find love. On top of that, you had one who was in love but got cheated on. That's a whole nother thing. You have to buy the book to read about Hood Lover. I'll put the link in the description, all of you all. At the same time, I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to be filming that TV series, Hood Lover. So, my point is, y'all, is to never give up. As I always say to everyone out there, you don't give up, because that's what Satan wants. He may say or try to convince you, oh, you can't get this done. You see, you don't have a computer at home, so you can't get it done. But God will make a way, everyone. Remember, I always said also, you got to plant that seed. And God's the one who water it. When the rain comes down, you know you got the flowers growing. You know you got the fruits growing. Also, on top of that, this is where the success starts to grow, everyone. Because he sees that you're putting in the effort. He's seeing that I was putting in the effort. On top of that, that's when even more doors open. Because remember I said, God brings people in your life for a reason. So it was a reason why he wanted me to start hanging out there in Queensbridge at the time. Shout out to my other great late cousin, George, who used to always chill with Ron Artez and his family. Shout out to them also. But what I'm saying, everyone, and trying to let you all know, I'm not just showing off, everyone. I'm here showing you the living proof of hard work. And sometimes you got to do it in silence, as I said, everyone. I mean, we all want that success. At the time, I wanted it right away and stuff. But it's work that's required of it. You know? So, as I said, we all want that success. But we don't all want to be waiting on the success. Some of us may want it right away, but that's not how God operates, everyone. You got to be patient at times. It's on God's time. And that's something I talked about this past Friday when I was with Lenny Green and them. It's always on God's time, everyone. I said that I wish I was able to speak like this years ago. I mean, I had it in my mind. I just didn't know how to get it out. And I thank God for that, because through Bible study, I don't just keep things to myself no more, thinking it's going to lead to an argument and stuff. On top of that, I'm open. And that's how you have to be with God when you talk to him. Remember, that conversation is just with you and him. Everyone don't got to know what you're praying about. No one needs to know what you guys are even talking about. On top of that, God knows your heart. So don't ever forget that, people. Remember, God knows your heart. You all say you've been waiting on God, but the truth is he's been waiting on you. That's how patient he is. Remember how patient, how many chances he gave the Israelites to change their ways, to stop worshiping these other gods? I apologize, everyone. I'm getting in a Bible mode, but I can't help it. This is just me. But as I said, the time that he was giving the Israelites chances and chances and chances and giving them warnings and warnings and all the signs, and they still didn't listen. But he was patient. He was patient and patient and patient. That's how he is with all of us, you all. There's no other way I can describe it about how patient God is. So he's waiting for you. That's why I always say you can come to him any time of the day, people. Do not be afraid. Do not be ashamed about that whatsoever. Just look at 2 Timothy 2:17. God did not give us ability to be fearful. He wants you to come to him. Okay? So don't ever be scared or ashamed about letting God know what's on your mind. Even how to get your day started, people. Because in 2 Timothy 1:7, it's all about facing that fear and showing you what God put in you about love and the power of yourself. On top of that, the power of facing your fear, the power of self-discipline. That's the main thing there in 2 Timothy 1:7, people. But again, I apologize. And at the same time, I'm not going to apologize. Because, again, this is me. So, here's a book that's coming out. It's already out, which is Pure Evil. But what I'm saying to you guys here, watching this here at Black Power Rise, this summer, the second part to the series, it's called Pure Evil When Cities Collide. So this here is Pure Evil. I'll put the link in the description there also. Being that I grew up loving comics, that's what made me write that. On top of that, shout out to my boy Coma, my boy Anthony, aka Gold Shocker. I ain't gonna give away too many names. Chaotic Realm, my boy Clarence. But anyway, y'all watching this is Black Power Rise. Another thing I wanna say to you guys watching this, for those that didn't get to read Success Happens When You Dare to Dream, that's my newest book. And I'm going to put the link in that description. That's this right here. Success Happens When You Dare to Dream. But first, this is last year's book. Success to Become Empowered and Resilient. So, what does it mean to really be empowered and resilient? I'm going to get to that. Because right now, I want all of you all to remember, this is your year. Remember, this is your year, you all. You can't chase dreams in a place of comfort. Yeah, it's so many people that's so comfortable and they're in their comfort zone. But they say they want things, and when it's time to go get it, they're not applying it. That's where God comes in at, everyone. To face that fear, you got to be able to overcome that fear. I mean, not everybody has that willpower in them, but you can develop it. That's something that may happen at a young age, at an older age, whenever. But it's up to you. Again, how bad do you want it, people? The reason why I say, how bad do you want it, people? Because no excuses. You all have heard me say time and time again. And again, I ask you all, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel here at Black Power Rise. Now, as I was saying, no excuses. It is 2025. Yeah, it's time to get it. It's time for you to get out there and grind. It's time for you to get that success that you want. And how bad do you want it? What are you going to do to get it? Are you going to leave your comfort zone? Are you going to get away from the people you feel that's holding you down? Because just this past, I believe it was Sunday, I ran into a friend from the building who said that she was moving. And she talked about being around negative people. And I had never ever heard her talk like this. She said that she's glad she's moving because now she has a different mindset, a different perspective on life. And she dedicated it to me. And I was amazed. I'm saying to myself, what did I do? But people see how you move. People are watching you. And you can be an inspiration to people and not even know it. I'm a perfect example to that. Don't ever feel that you're too old to be successful. because that is not true whatsoever. That's something Satan will put in your head, though. Remember, he's the father of lies, everyone. So, again, I always said it. Go to God. Because he's the one with the power. On top of that, you are never too old. It's never too late. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Again, we in the year 2025, yeah? Y'all, make that y'all year. You're not too old. You're not too busy. You just got to put in the work. You just got to make it your decision to say, I'm going to accomplish this. You got to say, I'm going to block these people out. You got to say, it's me, my child if you have kids, or whoever, your spouse, and against the world. Basically, that's how it is. And again, don't forget God, y'all. And as I said, don't think that I just happen to write 9 books just like that. Even I've had setbacks. Even I had times. There were times when I had a broken computer. There were times when I didn't even have a laptop. You've heard me talk about that. But then when I did have one, I had to get a new one because it broke. So thank God that I was working and I had to save up money for that new one. I'm talking about the Surface Pro when it first came out. But I had to save up money for that. So there's sometimes in life you got to make sacrifices. And me, that was a sacrifice. You know, when I wanted my books published and stuff, I wanted it published right away. But I had to save up money for that. And sometimes you may have to do it without money. But what are you going to do? Sometimes, as I said, you got to make sacrifices for that success that you want. You got to get out your comfort zone for that success that you want. The reason why is because you're going to see yourself grow. That's just me saying that. And that's something that I've talked about, again, when I was with Lenny Green and friends and the people that I've met this past Friday. Shout out to Tamara. Shout out to Miss Cynthia. Shout out to everyone who I met this past Friday. So yeah, I have 9 books. Yeah, I'm working on the Pure Evil When Cities Collide series and stuff, because you have Suspenseful Tales, you have Tales and Mystery, and you have Outstanding Adventures before I even get to Pure Evil When Cities Collide. But those are just preludes to the Pure Evil When Cities Collide, everyone. Yeah, I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. But it starts with my book, Pure Evil. And as I said, I didn't just write 9 novels just like that. Yes, it took time. Yes, it took me wanting to be successful at writing. Yes, and it opened doors for me. But this is the same thing. You don't have to be a writer. You can do anything you want in life. I just, hey, get your hustle on, get your grinding on, and do it the legal way. That's just me. And the reason why I say that, because I don't let excuses define my legacy. And you shouldn't either. It's your boy Kasim, again, here at Black Power Rise, everyone. Because you see these shirts there, even that, yes, I designed them. Yes, it's part of my clothing line, and I'll put that in the description as well. But, and this one here, which you see the Rolls Royce on it, it says, you can't just pray to God and expect him to replace your laziness. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work. This is why I just said you have to want that success, people. You have to be willing to sacrifice at times for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. You know, my novels, like in the True Brother series about brotherhood, and you got guys that's looking for love. On top of that, they find out what life is really about, especially when they off to college. On top of that, you have my other part to the True Brother series, Year of the Gentleman. For those that love fashion, shout out to my boy Antoine and family. On top of that, so that's part of the True Brother series, Year of the Gentleman. It's about real men and love and their purpose. And another one that follows that up is Caught Between Women. another book that's part of my True Brother series. Then shout out to my boy Dama, who's on the book cover of that. And thanks again. I always thank Dama for filming my stage plays. And on top of that, shout out to my Moving Mountains family. And also, you have my other upcoming books. You got Year of the Gentleman 2. You got True Brothers Back in the Game. Yes, these are just titles, but I've had these titles and got them copywritten years ago. On top of that, I know what it's going to be about. So when you see me writing it and when the book comes out, you will know what book to get first. So you know what's going on in the book. That's just me, everyone. And that's just me sharing my journey here at Black Power Rise. And on top of that, I want you all to remember to make 2025 your year. I don't care if it's a raise that you're going for at your job. I don't care if it's you wanting to have a deeper connection with your friends or family members or your spouse or whatever it is, or if it's you wanting to stop smoking or stop drinking, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to accomplish. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to help save people, if you want to help donate for people, because you have a bunch of homeless people out here, and I pray for them all day, every day. That doesn't stop me. On top of that, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, everyone, do it. On top of that, put God first. Now, see those book series of the True Brothers that you heard me talk about? Those wasn't just books. Those were grinds. Those were stories that I had aligned with my novels. On top of that, with my boys that's from Rutland Plaza. On top of that, shout out to my boy Dave. I know his birthday's coming out. Yeah, it's Gemini season. Shout out to my boy Keith, whose birthday was yesterday. Again, it's Gemini season. Uncle Kenny, same to you. Happy birthday to everyone. Nikita, there's so many people. Nikki that I can name. Shout out to everyone. And on top of that, I want to thank all of you all who have subscribed. And for those that didn't, please hit that like and subscribe button here at Black Power Rise. Remember, one thing I want all of you all to understand when it comes to success, and the success that you want, the success that you're really going after, again, whatever it is, everyone, it's a mind thing. I don't want you ever to forget that. Success starts with the mind. You have to say to yourself, you're going to be successful at this. You have to pray about it, of course. But on top of that, yes, put the work in, but you have to have that mindset of nothing's going to stop you. Here's something from my book, Success to Become Empowered and Resilient. This is chapter 2 that I'm going to do a quick read of the page, y'all. Historical triumphs. It's important to acknowledge the resilience of our ancestors who endured sufficient challenges, including being separated from their families. I express gratitude to God, my family, giving a special shout out to my grandmother, my great Uncle Rob, and cousin Uncle Edgar, who are still with us, and as well as those who witnessed the civil rights movement. Their sacrifices have paved the way for the opportunity we have today. In life, true growth begins when you step out of your comfort zone. Remember, I said that, everyone. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals often involves discussions about ideas. Conversationally, average-minded people may focus on events, and small-minded individuals might engage in discussions about people. The key is recognizing the power moves in sufficient conversations may be challenging around those who didn't share the same drive. So what I'm saying to you guys there is to, again, I said about earlier, sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to be around other successful people. And that's what I did this past Friday. And what I'm saying is, for you to get to that next level, sometimes you may need advice from other people that's more successful than you. A perfect example, Hope Clark. Again, shout out to her. Another perfect example, Carl Weber. And I'm only using myself as an example, as you can see, everyone. When I first started writing, when I wanted to get into writing, these were the people that I went to. On top of that, why? Because I had friends, yeah, we were in college, but they didn't know about writing novels. They weren't there or trying to get to where I was going to. Remember, it's your dream. It's your goal. It's your accomplishment. Remember, you're the one going to God about this prayer that you want. And as I always said, sometimes you got to grind in silence. That's right. I said it. Sometimes you got to grind in silence. And you know what? At times it's going to take discipline. It's going to take sacrifice. You got to have that faith over the fear. You got to have the vision for the success that you want. You got to know that you're going to get this done. I mean, when I wrote this book last year and when I printed it last year, yeah, I wrote it for myself, but at the same time, it was for you all also watching this. Again, I have the link in the description, but it was also to remind myself that success comes with resilience. Yes, I had to remind myself. Yes, I enjoyed writing it. I loved writing it. Why? That was my first self-help book. On top of that, this here, Success Happens When You Dare to Dream, is my second self-help book. Because I'm tired of watching us just talk about, I want things, or I want this, or I'm gonna do this, and then when it's time to get it, we're not going after it. So I said that I'm gonna do something to try to help people. But again, I can't do the work for you all. You all watching this, share this with your friends and family. Share this with anybody that you think that could use this type of help. Share this with people that you feel that could use this boost. Because that's what I'm doing here. I love to motivate my people, which is something that I let Lenny Green know. I love to see other black people being successful. I love to see other people successful also. But I really get excited when it's our people. Especially when they're young and I see them going after it. Getting their hustle on the legal way. And that's speaking of hustle. I have another film, Can't Stop the Hustle, coming out. Yes, it's written. Again, I just got to get the actors. And I'm going to do that. But back to what I'm saying to you all. Here at Black Power Rise. This is what I do, everyone. Motivate my people. My boy Shaq, shout out to you. We got work to do, bro. My boy Ed, shout out to you. You know we got work to do. Larice King, John, Pretty. Yeah, we gonna get it. Claude, you definitely. I just went to Claude's show that was at Drew University this past Saturday. On top of that, you have to be the one that wants that success. Shout out to Tia, Ernestine, people, all my Moving Mountains family. These are people that I see that's out there getting it. And when you hear me talk about, yeah, there may be negative people out there, and that's because there are. Remember, this is Satan's world, people. Remember, we're living in Satan's world. But while we're here on earth right now, we have God to shield us. We got the Holy Ghost and the power of Jesus and God to shield us, everyone. You ask God to put that shield around you and remove all that type of negativity away from you. Because I'm talking from experience. The more you read your Bible, the more confidence you're going to get. The more you work at something, the more you keep going at it and keep going at it and don't give up, you're going to get better at it. It's the same thing with basketball. You never seen the late Kobe Bryant take a day off. And if he did, it was because of the season was over. He might have rested for a day or two and got right back in it, working out. And that's one thing that I love about my boy. Shout out to Laker Nation. On top of that, same thing with LeBron James, who's getting ready to enter year 23. And for those hating, I guarantee you, you all wish you could be him. The reason why I say that, because no one's played just this long and still be able to do the things that he's done. But that's another time. But again, it's part of success, everyone. That's his success. What is yours? Because your mind is either your prison or your passport that you choose. You know, another thing I talk about in my novel, Success to Become Empowered and Resilient, as well as success happens when you dare to dream. You don't have to go alone, everyone. Sometimes you may have a team to help you towards that success that you're going after. Again, I always said, and I'd said it in this video here that you're watching, God brings people in your life for a reason. So don't forget that. Because I don't want you to ever feel like you're alone. Remember, God's hand is always extended out. You just got to meet him halfway. Remember, at the end of Isaiah, I believe it was 9, 12, and 17, it talks about how God's hand is always stretched out. So, whenever you down, whenever you get stuck on that successful journey that you're on, you know, you can always go to him and his hand is always out to pull you up, everyone. That's something, another thing I don't want you all forgetting, because these are things that I've learned through the years. Yeah, I used to always go to church, but I didn't quite understand everything. Yeah, I was learning on my own. And that's something not even Jesus did. He had to learn also. On top of that, after that, he became a teacher. That's something Peter did. He had to learn and he became a teacher. And definitely Paul. But again, I apologize, everyone, but I can't help it sometimes. Because here at Black Power Rise, I love uplifting all of you all watching this here. And remember, I want all of you all to trust in God. Trust him. Remember, he's our Father. And while you're trusting in him, if you don't believe what I'm saying, just look at one of my favorite books, which is Proverbs 3, 5, 6, where it talks about trusting the Lord and do not lean on your own understanding. I know for a fact most of you all watching this have heard that before. So while you're putting your trust in him and you're going for that successful journey that you're on, I don't care if it's you studying for an exam. I don't care if it's you going after anything that you're going after. Of course, as long as it's legal. But what I'm saying is, put your trust in God. Because that's something where your faith comes in at. Remember, I talked about your faith being there. Your faith got to be real strong for that success that you want, everyone. This your boy Kasim here at Black Power Rise. Because you've heard me talk about God doesn't replace laziness. God doesn't even bless laziness. You have to be the one to put the work in, people. You have to be the one to do the praying. Remember, I just said you got to meet God halfway. And that's something I want you all to do. For those that, don't like going to church or even opening their Bibles, this is me just letting you know that. And if you do it on your own time, God bless you all. Because I'm not the one judging. I am the one trying to help and motivate you all and let you all see. Basically, open your eyes up, everyone. Because seeing people down is something I don't like. Seeing people say they want something or they're gonna do this, and then when it's time to do it, again, I get that life happens, but then they forget about it, and then years later they talking about, oh, I wish I did that. Remember, time is not on our side. Time is something that you don't get back. Remember, God walks straight. Remember, time goes up, not backwards. The only time goes backwards is around September, and that's when it gets dark earlier, or in October, I should say. But what I'm saying is, you got to keep walking straight in that path of success that you want, no matter how long it takes. Because you know, when you have, for farmers, I'll use them for an example. You know, when they're planting fruits and vegetables, it don't grow right away. It don't grow right away. When for those, I even use billionaires or millionaires, even those that's working 6-figure jobs, they didn't get it right away. It took time. You got to be patient for that success that you want. And also the same thing with my stage plays. You know, that took time. Yeah, my first one, Someone's Got to Be on Top, which I loved and enjoyed, and Uncle Leroy. People love him so much. I wound up bringing him to my next play, She's Not For You. On top of that, you're going to see him in my new one coming up. Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things. And mind you, I want to thank my boy Ed once again for introducing me to Claude, who's a great friend of mine, who I call Uncle, because, again, God brings people in your life for a reason, everyone. When he auditioned years ago, he did great, but at the same time, I saw something else in him. And he brought out this character, Uncle Leroy, so very well. OMG. The audience loved it. Also, for those watching, even join my email list. Leave your emails, and I'll have the link for that also. But what I'm saying is, when Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things comes out, everyone, I'm bringing in those that can make it. On top of that, I'm going to let you guys know. Because my plays, yes, it started with Someone's Got to Be on Top, then She's Not For You. On top of that, it started with just that vision. Because of the stage plays I used to go to with me and my mother and grandmother at the Beacon Theater, and made me, want to write a play. Then I used to go with my cousin Daylene, who's like a sister to me. On top of that, and her friends, we used to go to the Beacon Theater. And then I really said that I'm going to write my own stage play when I went to screenwriting classes. And back then, my boy Damo introduced me to Moving Mountains, and even they were new. They were still new back in 2007. So that's how long it was, everyone. But we all continued to grow. The vision became bigger. More opportunities came, and that's because the seed was planted. So you see where I'm going, everyone? You see how God works, and what I'm saying to you all here watching this here at Black Power Rise? You have to have that vision. You have to be the one to plant that seed. You have to let God work his magic. Let him water what you're trying to build. So then with the plays became the novel. Someone's Got to Be on Top became my third novel. And then I came out with my book that you heard me talk about, Year of the Gentleman. But after that, that was my fourth one. But after that was my fifth novel, She's Not For You. And that was based off my second stage play, everyone. And with that became more. And each one was sold out. Every time I've had a stage play, shout out to my boy Phil, who praised it and came out to it. Shout out to my boy Eton Keith, even Nikki also, who came to see my stage plays. For those that didn't, just ask them about it. And people here where I grew up at, they know who I'm talking about. Because I'm inviting those that didn't come ever see my stage plays. I'm letting you all know. Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things will be out this year. On top of that, what I'm saying to you all here watching this here at Black Power Rise, you all have to give God a reason to plant that seed. Because, water it. Because once you plant the seed, you got to let him do the rest. My last thing I want to say to you all watching this, God cannot bless you for trying to be somebody you're not. And he won't. Come as you are. You know, for some places, you know how some people go to churches and they dressing all fancy, and some come in these nice dresses and stuff. And there are some places where you could go like a Kingdom Hall, that you can go in and come as you are. They're not there to judge. And God isn't either. Why? Because God knows your heart. You've heard me say that before. God knows what you really want. God knows all about you, everyone. More than you know yourself. That's right, I said it. And I mean that. And I stand on what I'm saying. God knows you more than you know yourself. Before you were even in your mother's womb, God knew about you. Then when you came out as a human, yes, born with sin, but God knew the type of person you were going to become. He knew about me. He knew things that I didn't even know. But he knew it already. He knew I would be saying this stuff to you all. I didn't, but he did. He knew that I would be having the stage plays. He knew that I would be a fashion designer. He knew I would be into fashion. He knew everything about me, but I didn't, because I didn't see this coming. And I really didn't. He knew that I would be a speaker. I didn't see this coming, everyone. So what I'm saying, God knows you more than you know yourself. You know, I know that I said that was going to be the last thing, but another thing I want to say to you all heard me say sometimes you got to work in silence. And I'm letting you know it's true. Sometimes you do have to grind in silence. Keep your success to yourself. Not everyone is going to be happy for you. Not everyone is going to like what you're doing. And that's where Satan comes in at. Because God, we all know God is about love. We all know Jesus mimicked his Father God. So he was all about love. And that's what Jesus was doing, was spreading all of that love. But not everyone is going to be happy about the success that you're spreading around. Not everyone is going to be happy that you're getting ahead. This is why I say sometimes you got to keep things to yourself, especially the grinding that you're doing. And let your work, speak for itself. Let your success speak for itself. But don't be surprised when you have people come to you, oh, how did you do this? How did you get there? Don't be surprised. On top of that, don't be surprised that you make new friends also. from the success that you have. Because other people love being around other successful people. That's something that I've learned. There are other people out here that love just seeing other people shine. Because we all going to have our moments to shine. And that's a given fact, everyone. That's something I've learned. On top of that, me personally, I was always happy and supporting others, even when I wasn't where they were at. And I'm still not, but I'm still not letting that change me. But at the same time, yeah, sometimes you gotta keep the work to yourself. Sometimes you have to grind in silence. You know, set goals, set private goals, keep them to yourself. Set your dreams, have that vision board. That vision board is for you. You've heard me talk about that before. If you're on social media, pray more, post less, or pray more, post. If you want to share your success with others, go ahead. But I'm letting you know, sometimes you got to keep it to yourself until you really ready, and pray about it to let people know about this success that you have, about the goals that you accomplished here in 2025. And if you don't want to share it with people, celebrate quietly. There's nothing wrong with that. Because when I dropped my book, Hood Lover, and folks didn't see it coming. Shout out to Crystal, who was on the book cover. When I started Black Power Creations, folks didn't see that coming. When I started this channel here at Black Power Rise, folks damn sure didn't see that coming. But God did. I didn't see it coming. Again, but God did. My book's Success Happens When You Dare to Dream. I didn't see that coming. Again, same thing with Success to Become Empowered and Resilient. God saw all of this. So, again, do not let no one stop you from your goals. Don't let nothing stop you from getting to where you want to be in life. Again, I'll say it. Life does happen, everyone. But don't ever give up. My novel, Pure Evil, when I had wrote it, I was talking about, the darkness that's out here in the world and my characters that's fighting it. And that's something that we do in life, period. Because, yes, we're all born with sin. But on top of that, yes, we all have God to shield us from that sin. We have God to shield us from the wickedness that some people have in them. We definitely have God and Jesus to rebuke Satan. That's something I don't want you all forgetting. Again, in my book, Pure Evil When Cities Collide, you have one of the characters in Dr. Wave, who's my favorite, says that the world doesn't need more noise. It needs warriors. And that's something that we are, everyone. We are God's children. We are God's children, people. And again, I can't wait till I finish writing Pure Evil When Cities Collide, and all the preludes that's coming. That's all the preludes that's coming. That's Tales of Mystery. That's one of them, featuring Dr. Wave. Outstanding Adventures, featuring Livewire, Lady Flames, Dawn Slayer. Then you have Strange Tales, one of my favorites, featuring Shadow Shooter and Moonstabber. Again, I didn't see these coming, people. but they're here. 2025. Make it your year, everyone. And these are just some of my books that's coming out this year. Also, you have the stage play Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things. You even have the book that I'm going to write, Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things. You have Year of the Gentleman 2. You got True Brothers back in the game. And also, I want to let you guys know, you're going to have negative people. You're going to have people out there that don't believe in you. At the same time, remember you have God, everyone. Remember, you go to him, you pray to him. Any time of the day, anytime, his hand is always out. We're his children, everyone. Don't ever forget that. And sometimes this is something I had to learn. You got to work in silence. And I'm going to say it, you got to grind in silence at times. There's something my late grandmother had told me, my brother and cousin, one time. You kill people in silence. But I was a teenager then. I didn't really understand what she was saying. So now that I'm more wiser now, I do get why she said that. And I do understand that. So that's what you got to do. It's 2025, everyone. It's June of 2025. Let's keep grinding, everyone. Don't let nothing stop you or no one. Again, with God, all things are possible, everyone. It's your boy Kasim here at Black Power Rise. I'm out. Y'all have a blessed one. I came up with that title because mother basically raised me. I was around women, including my godmother. Most women don't depend on the man for nothing. And I said, hold up, I have to get back down to earth. Supposed to be head of household.
Supposed to.
A lot of men are not taught how to be women.
Speak.
And that's on the father. That's just my opinion. But me, I was around my cousins who taught me how to be men. I had friends that's like big brothers of mine that taught me how to be a man. I watched them be parents at a young age, so I knew what mistakes not to make. But because I had my mother and grandmother, I had to dedicate this stage play to them to show women that, yes, you can be independent, and on top of that, there are some good brothers out there.
I had one of them.
Right on.
That's right.
I was told, and I didn't believe it, but I wanted to prove my grandmother wrong. That we as black people can get along.
There you go.
And she always said there's so much black on black crime. But through Bible study, I learned God's children. That's not shout out to YA. One is going to be Mother Love Says Prayer Changes Things.
All right. Yeah.
Yes. Go to church, I'm not knocking that, but I do want y'all to know, God is always.
Amen.
Any time of the day.
God says, upon this rock I build my church.
I've had a total of 6. I've done 2 short films, and shout out to people who I've met. And at the time, my daughter's mother was pregnant. I had a chance to go meet Tyler Perry's assistant. But as I said, I was raised by men, so I was helping her through the pregnancy. So I said there would be other times. I'm not worried about that.
Right.
So I wound up having my own stage play, and when I was going to film school, I ran into Spike Lee, who told me, "Why are you going to film? Paying tuition, get the camera, do your thing." And he's been in touch with me since, but I had lost that number. The point is, God brings people in your life for a reason.
Amen.
Lenny Green here, and you guys, this is the type of stuff that I love.
Oh,
I love seeing get along. That's just me. On top of that, it kind of hurt my heart this year when one of my students, Caden, didn't know who Martin Luther King was. And a lot of kids asked me, who is Malcolm X? And I'm like, you know what? I have to about this. So I started wearing clothing and started designing this stuff, and I said, I'm going to get the message out because they're not teaching our history in these schools.
Beautiful.
And that's what they want. They want us to be locked up or fighting one another. I said, plays as well as my knowledge to get the message out there for us to be shining.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right.
On top of that is Black Power and Bella Creations.com. You see, I came up with the name Black Power way 25 years ago when I was in college.
Right on.
One, I was black and my last name. I was only 23 then, and I told Lenny tonight, mad that I didn't have that. He said, God works in mysterious ways. And shout out to even my godson, because I came up with this clothing line idea from helping him design his own clothing line. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do my own, as well as show these kids that they are positive people out here.
Yes.
Amen.
Everywhere you go in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, you may see a kid come up to me, Mr. Power, and I'm okay. Just last week, we had a student tell a young lady that he's gonna go get his gun. I'm like, boy, and I'm not even there. I'm like, boy, that is not what you do, man. That's not how you're supposed to be talking, especially to a teacher and to a woman. No. No. So for that, I'm getting him into an acting class. Shout out to my movement. Including yourselves. Remember, we are all black kings and queens out here.
Amen.
That's what I want all of y'all to remember. So check me out, and please, I'm gonna get y'all emails because I would love to invite y'all to my stage plays.
Oh, yeah.